Welcome to Nutty Buddy Entertainment.
Welcome back, everybody, to Nutty Buddy Entertainment. On today's episode, we are going to do just a quick review or breakdown, more of a review of the Moon Knight episode 1, The Goldfish Problem. And to do that with me, and he will be doing most of these watching, reviews of each episode with me, is Brian. Brian, how's it going today?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Good. It's been a long day, but I got everybody's gonna get my instant reaction because I told you before we jumped on. I just watched it right before we jumped on. So let's so just give me your initial thoughts on how you felt about the first episode. Let's start there.
My initial thoughts, I didn't know what to expect because this was the first venture with Marvel. This is a brand new character we're getting for a TV series. All the other TV series have been previously, characters that we've known.
Yeah, that's true.
So I wasn't sure what to expect. I had high hopes of what it would be. And for first episode, I thought it was good. I thought it kept you kind of wondering what's going on, because I think there's a lot to kind of dive into and see exactly how everything's going to play out. So
yeah, no, I 100%. I'm just so intrigued. I was like, wow, what is going on here? Right? The first scene with the glass in the sandals, I was like, what? I almost had to look away from that.
That was my wife's reaction too while she was watching it. I was just like, okay. I wasn't expecting Bob Dylan to drop for the opening song. But no, his whole aesthetic. Ethan Hawke plays that character, and then it's Arthur Harrow, and I think he's going to be a really good villain leading into this series because he's very intriguing. And that whole glass scene, I don't know if that's a whole penance thing for him, walking to atone for something or whatever. But I don't know. It's very intriguing.
Yeah, it almost had in the city, and we might be getting just I guess it doesn't matter. We'll talk about the entire episode anyway. But it sort of had a cult type of vibe to me. Everybody sort of had those tattoos, and they all moved aside when he came out. And then it seemed as if he had this ability to judge people's intent.
I don't know if it's their intent. I think he was judging their hearts to see if they were a good person or not. Because I remember in one of the first scenes when he's in the museum, what's his name? Steven was explaining to that little girl, in the afterlife, you would take out all the organs, but you'd leave in the heart. And that's right. What you would get judged by. So I think he was judging their hearts. And it was interesting how the young guy passed, but then that older woman didn't. And it looked like it kind of sucked the life out of her. So I'm intrigued on that to see where it kind of leads with that. If it is something on that, or if he's just taking people's essence, just if he doesn't want them in the group or something like that. I don't know.
Right. Because he talked about this again, I just watched it one time. It more. So I'm going to probably ask you a ton of questions. You watched it twice. So he talked about what goddess or god does he claim to represent? Erod?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember her name here. It's Erod or something. I don't know if you can look that up, but then there are 9 totals. And I know in one point in the museum, he was saying they only had 7 on there, which I don't know. I feel like all of this has some sort of meaning to it that we're going to have at a future date later in the series.
Yeah, I think, right. I agree. Let's see. I'm trying to find, I have the wiki up here. I don't think it would be quick, but what I thought was interesting is in the museum, while we're looking this up, it it included, like, he talked about like how Nazi Germany or some other, if this goddess would have been in control, she could have stopped some of the more catastrophic events in world history.
Yeah, that was interesting. And yeah, it's Enead. Ennead is that goddess that they're talking about. I think it's the one with the crocodile head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Which there was a bunch of foreshadowing with that, and even in like the gift shops and like stuffed animals and stuff. And throughout the entire episode, there was a lot of that with the foreshadowing. But yeah, he made it seem like everything could be better if she was around. So with whoever Moon Knight has in him right now, seeing how that'll play out with both of them and where they kind of differ in aspects of that.
Yeah, so we sort of, so we kind of went into the villains. We're still kind of trying to see his intent and how he's involved in all this, but the main hero, played by Oscar Isaac, is Stephen, what's his last name? Grant. Stephen Grant.
Yes. Yep. Stephen Grant. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I kind of loved his personality. Just he was funny. And then there was the moment when he was eating the chocolate, you kind of felt bad for him. Right. Like,
no, 100%. Yeah. He broke veg. You know, he wasn't supposed to have that steak, but he's just having a bad day. And he lost how many days of his life. And he's just like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's interesting. Him in the comic books, what I've been kind of reading, is completely different from what they have in the TV show, because he's supposed to be almost like a Bruce Wayne, like millionaire kind of playboy, which he is not at all in this, guy just like at a gift shop at a museum. So I'm interested to see how he kind of plays out, especially to the whole Mark and Steven.
Right.
Why exactly does Mark need him? Because it seems like Mark is like the original version and then created out of all this with Steven. And I can't really see his purpose right now of what he's really needed for, and why he's being kept in the dark of what's actually going on with like Kong Shu and all that.
Yeah, I wonder if it's sort of like he's so like low key, and like he's so kind of for like Steven is so forgettable. Like you got that the security guard or whoever the guy that that was watching the Otter video kept
KB, I think.
Calling him the wrong name, like so it kind of shows sort of his irrelevance to a lot of people. So I wonder if that's why he was created to help him because Mark is supposed to be like a mercenary, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Even Ethan Hawke's character even says you're the mercenary. So he knows him somehow. And I'm wondering if it's a scenario where he's kind of on the run or taking a low profile. So he created a personality that would just, blend into the background and not really stand out. And then he can just do all his Moon Knight stuff at night and, go from there. But yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, but he also deals with a the what is it called? Dissociative, which used to be multi-personality disorder.
Yeah.
Right. So it's going to be interesting to see if like Mark and Steven were always in the same headspace, or was this created because of Moon Knight?
Yeah. And that's what I don't know exactly, because is there going to be more that come out in the future? Because maybe this isn't all of them quite yet, and Steven's just kind of getting a glimpse into what's actually going on. Because I know there's Moon Knight and then there's Mr. Moon or something like that, where he's like in a business suit and stuff, which we haven't seen that character yet. And that's more of like a detective personality going forward. So
is one like going to be, I wonder if one will be when Steven is in control, when he can control like that Moon Knight persona, he becomes Mr. Knight. And like when
Yeah.
Mark controls Moon Knight, he's like Moon Knight. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
could it be something like that?
Yeah,
Maybe.
it might be. I don't know. Like, even I'm not even sure if from the comic books if they were cognizant of, each other as they were going, because it looks like Mark knows, he's in control of Moon Knight himself, but I don't know if Steven is in control of that. It'll be interesting to see, because there were a lot of points where he blacked out and we didn't get those scenes in the episodes. So maybe we can get them now through Mark's perspective. I don't know, in the next episode. It's kind of left off with him. So get some of those gaps filled in and a little bit more backstory on what's going on, and that whole Layla person in there that he found the phone and all that. So yeah.
Because there is a potential that Mark could still be like sort of a rich mercenary, right? And that he has this like a family or a girlfriend, and that's who this Layla was, that the name?
I think
Layla.
So. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So who is this Layla that, like you said, found the phone and all those missed calls? Did you see the one missed call that was like a different name, Dumpster or something like that?
I think it was like Ducamp or DE something like that. Yeah, I believe.
Wonder if that's like an Easter egg of some sort.
Probably it'll have something to do with it. We're in the very early stages here of the episode, but I mean, it kept my attention throughout. I was wondering what's going on throughout the entire thing. I think it's going to be a good series. Hopefully it keeps up. So
yeah, I was super intrigued. I have a lot of questions, and I think one of my favorite aspects of this show is going to be that I don't know a lot about Moon Knight as a character.
Yeah.
We talked about when we did our Marvel Phase 4 rankings, one of the reasons why we like Shang-Chi so much is because we didn't have like a lot of comic book knowledge on Shang-Chi, kind of a new character. So it was kind of like pleasantly surprising how well we liked him. And I'm kind of excited about that, because a lot of Marvel and DC stuff, Star Wars stuff, you kind of have something to compare it to.
No, yeah, exactly. And that's almost a detriment, because you have all this knowledge. So you're like, well, they're not sticking it to it this way or that way. So this is kind of nice. They haven't really done anything with this character yet. And he has, he's had a couple comic books and things, but I mean, he's not very popularly known, I would say. So it's going to be cool. And this seems like it's a little bit more gritty, I want to say, especially with like, a lot of the fight scenes he has, he's got blood on his hands. And you can see even when he was, Moon Knight showed up at the end, he didn't throw back or like hold back any of his punches when he was taking down that guy. So.
Yeah, they say like he's the Batman of the MCU.
Yeah.
And the only problem is Batman doesn't kill. It looks like I read that Moon Knight's willing to do that, so it's
well, he's a mercenary, so I think no qualms on that end. So yeah. So was there anything in the episode that you weren't too sure about or like didn't like?
It just no, I even thought the pacing was pretty good. Like I like the pacing.
Yeah, the pacing was good. Yeah. I have one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The CGI in the car chase was absolutely horrible.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because of the TV that I was watching on it. It was very prominent and it was just bad CGI. Like the cars were not real that they were driving. And then as well as like the trees that kind of came down and crashed those guys completely just like.
Tell that.
Yeah. Okay. There was just some points and I'm just like, this is really, really bad. Like, yeah. Cause even when the guy like jumps from a car into the back of the cupcake van, like that was complete, just like green screen behind, just like jumping off. And yeah, that was my only thing. I'm just like, I really hope this doesn't like, cause I'm pretty sure most of his suit is CGI. And I was a little worried that it was going to not look good, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Even like when you went back to the logs falling and toppling over the dudes, you could tell like they switched from you could tell they were CGI guys too. Like the dudes were CGI that got hit.
Yeah, exactly. And that I was liking the episode up until that point. I'm just like, oh boy, this isn't good. Is this gonna go downhill real quick? But the rest of the episode is fine.
Yeah, no, yeah. I thought, for the most part, like very intriguing. I have a lot of questions. I think they'll answer a lot of those questions though, right? Like that's what we expect. What did you think of the look of Moon Knight?
In his like get up and all that? I thought it was cool. I liked it a lot. I think they did a good job of doing the suit, not making it like his entire like body just like mummy wrapped, and kind of having a little bit cool aesthetics with it, so it kind of popped out more. I think they did a good job with it.
Yeah, I liked it too. Yeah, I'm with you. So anything else?
Yeah, couple questions with it, like him calling his mom. I think that's a little weird. Exactly what character, or what that whole thing is, just because I don't think it's his actual mother. Like, who is he actually calling and leaving a message with, And then he's always saying like, see you later, Gator, which is another kind of like foreshadowing. So is he somehow in touch with that like person that Ethan Hawke is in touch with? Arthur, I don't know. That was one thing I was a little like, okay, this is a little weird, but
that's a good point. Maybe do we know, again, I just watched it one time.
Yeah.
I know that he left messages to who he thought was his mom. Do we know that he actually talked to somebody?
No, we don't. And that's, we don't see his phone or anything. He's just it's also the mime conversation. He's talking to this dude in a park and he's getting absolutely nothing back. And there's other sections where he's just talking to himself. So is he actually talking to himself or is he talking to someone else? So I don't know. The whole goldfish thing too was weird, where it's got one arm and then he comes back and he's like, this got two arms on it. What's going on here? So I don't know. Maybe Mark killed the goldfish by accident and had to replace it, but
that's what I thought. Like the Mark came in and like I think the goldfish was named Bruce, but he ended up being dead, and then he just went and replaced it so that Steven could have his goldfish like a companion. But yeah, that's a great question. I wonder who he's talking to.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. It'll be cool if we get perspectives of all the multiple personalities. So something from, we got Steven's perspective, we go to Mark, and then even from like Khonshu's perspective too. That'll be pretty cool.
6 episodes? Is it 6 episodes?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 6 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. So just one last thing I was going to say is because we got not only the voice of Mark, which he doesn't have the accent that Steven does, but we also got the voice of Moon Knight. So reminded me a lot of the relationship between Venom and Eddie Brock in the Venom movies.
Yeah, no, that's funny you brought that up. My wife actually said the same thing. She's like, so this is basically Venom? And I'm like, actually kind of, yeah, I guess.
Right. I got that.
Once he's like self-aware, it'll definitely be like Venom. So yeah.
So that's the first thing I thought of when I heard Moon Knight's voice, because he's like the stupid one's awake again or in control again. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like something Venom would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I don't know, because that's technically Khonshu, who's the moon god. That's his voice. So I don't know if Mark is Moon Knight or if Khonshu is Moon Knight also for this series.
Oh, interesting. So
because to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure Khonshu gave Mark the powers and he just kind of directs him on what to do. So Khonshu isn't really like through Moon Knight. He just gave him the abilities and then he also can speak to him in his head.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. And then there's the beetle. What is it called? That
the Seraph.
That's it.
Is that it? Yeah. No. Okay.
Is it? Yeah.
I think so.
So what does that have in it?
I
That's
couldn't tell
another
you.
mystery.
There was a couple, I think, like in the museum on some of the statues, or was it the statues, or they had like gift boxes or something with that exact same one on there. So I don't know. It probably has something to do with the Egyptian, they have that museum setup coming through with the Egyptian gods. It's got to do something with them. So seeing what that info is, why he had to steal it,
Yeah.
But I also think, Oscar Isaac is doing a great job playing the character, especially to be able to do like multiple people's, personalities in this series. I think he's going to do a great job. I don't know if anybody else could really do a good job like this. So
I agree. I thought he was very intriguing. Like I said, I felt bad for his character when he's eating, like when he found out it was Sunday and not Friday.
Yeah,
I felt bad for him. It felt like he was gonna cry. I'm like, oh man, that guy, But yeah, he did an amazing job in this episode. Yeah, I really liked it as well. I'm really excited about this going forward. See where this goes.
Same, right? Yeah. Until next week when we're just like, oh man, this sucks. No.
Yeah. Well, no, it's funny because I feel like, when we talked about the phase 4 of MCU, it seems like they have like one really good and then they kind of have a dud.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back and forth. So I'm really hoping that this one is like Loki level. I'm really kind of, hoping for that.
As long as they can pull through with the CGI, and I don't know how much COVID affected all this stuff or whatever, but hopefully they didn't really have to hold any punches when it came to the story wise or anything. I haven't heard anything with that, so hopefully they were able to do what they needed and can make it a really good series. So
yeah, I'm with you, man. I hope so as well. Are we good on Moon Knight then? Episode 1?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So let's just talk about 2 other things.